What are the trolls? Well, they're a race that has either been enslaved or made a deal with humanity. Why I think they're enslaved is, you can see over here, 2 trolls pulling a cart, and it seems they are pulling it in a painful way. There are giant pins going through their backs, hooking onto their spines, and they are lurching forwards as if they're in great pain. These carts usually contain great items like weapons and talismans, and are usually occupied by certain patrols given the certain regions they're in. If we kill one of them, then eventually the cart overall will just stop moving, proving that this is a heavy object and needs to perform its actions. If we can loot the cart, we can find good goodies in them, usually weapons and talismans, sometimes armor. But let me take your attention to the combat troll. They usually have weapons, helmets, and equipment like that. There is one in Godric's castle, guarding a certain sector amongst other guards like humans, that leads to the final boss of this area. My theory is that the trolls made a deal with humans and decided to work with them out of their own free will, because if they didn't, they would have certainly caused an uprising by now, given their brute strength. Let's look at the worker one. This one that was just pulling the cart we saw just a moment ago, this is the worker class. They'll be doing the heavy lifting, most likely building, throwing stones, carrying giant objects like the pots. But there's one over here, right by Carrier Manor. Over there by the blue marker, there's a combat troll wearing the Carrion Knight helm. This leads me to believe that they probably wore a full set of Carrion Knight armor, since the cape on their back is an altered garment that you can alter at the side of grace. What's interesting to note is that, once again, the troll is not fighting the people around him, suggesting that this troll worked willingly with the mages here. And what is also interesting to note is that the mages here appear to be from Raya Lucaria, based on the masks they wear. And we know that students of Raya Lucaria wear these masks, as we can see quite a few of them outside of Raya Lucaria selling sorceries. However, if we go back to the weapon, you can see that earlier on in the video, it was able to cast spells. However, unfortunately, if you obtain the weapon yourself, it doesn't cast spell. It instead, however, has a super powerful war cry shout that does AoE damage. I tested it out myself and it's really effective. It's probably worth getting your hands on. Obtaining it simply requires you to kill the troll. Once we kill the troll and obtain the weapon, in the future clip I'm about to show you, we can test out the weapon. It has a super powerful AoE attack like that, and we're gonna test it on the enemy up above. As you can see, it does massive knockback and quite a lot of damage to whoever got inflicted or hit by it. So it's definitely worth getting your hands on as a way to clear large crowds. I have an interesting theory that maybe the trolls made deals with humans separately. Could be the reason why Godric's powerful, and could also be the reason why there are so many of these trolls working for so many different people. But let us go over to the mountaintops of the giants. I have a theory suggesting that this is the place of origin for the trolls. Since it has fur, this suggests that the troll evolved to grow up and live in this climate, this uninhabitable habitat. But if you take a look on its back, there's a massive greatsword. This suggests that either it broke free of containment or chose not to work with humans anymore. That's an interesting thought though, that maybe they were enslaved and now they're free. But I guess we have to speculate on that. My own personal fan theory is that maybe the trolls were working with the giants, or the trolls are the giants, since the fire giant looks kind of similar to a troll. Or maybe they're just working together to defend one thing they have in common: their love for their homeland. Maybe they work together, and as a side deal, they needed to protect the Forge of Giants. As we can see here, in the snowy, desolate wasteland, we can find another cart being pulled by giants. also occupied by aristocrats. Sadly, there seems to be barely any guards defending this one. Eventually, the trolls will get near a frozen lake and just stop, making it easy to kill them. At the back, once again, there's loot and weapons to be obtained. However, I didn't go here for this. What's interesting to note is that this troll is affected by frenzy, and it's interesting to note that rats are affected by frenzy too. Strange how something that isn't human can be affected by something that can only affect a human. There's a troll affected by frenzy right outside Volcano Manor. This solidifies my theory that maybe trolls made separate deals with separate human parties to defend certain things. This could be the reason why Godric has a powerful army, able to adapt, make deals, or enslave other races to effectively reach their own goals. Thanks for watching. I'd like to talk about the source of the parody. Vadi Vidya. Go subscribe to him. Definitely deserves a lot more than he has.